Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Untold Truth. I'm Master Eric, and this is Siobhan.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
I want everybody to understand, we didn't come on for the last 2 weeks, and then one of them was because we were recognizing Eid, and we didn't want to have a show that night. We wanted to respect Eid. So tonight, I want you to really, really be ready, because this is going to get you to think as an individual. But before I go into that, I want to say welcome to the listeners of U97.5 FM radio. I want to say hello to you tonight. I want to say hello to all the viewers that is on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Now, I want to say thank you to ZMB Communications Limited. They're located in Fred's Plaza, 26 Eastern Main Road, San Juan. And their numbers are 292-6470 and 392-2986. And I want to say thank you for sponsoring this program tonight. So everybody listening, tonight is going to be a little different. And what I mean different is we did the show, if you remember, Shiv, we did it on what is earth crimes versus sins.
Yes,
And it kind of woke people up.
definitely.
But now, tonight, we're going to define what constitutes the title, what is evil? So now, everybody listening, I'm going to go over the proper definition of what is the meaning of evil. And I'm going to read it word for word. Causing harm, tending to injure, immorality, and also evil force or supernatural. So evil, Siobhan, is very widespread.
Right.
It's a huge scope. And we're going to go over it tonight because a lot of people, when they're listening to this, may say, hey, he's saying I'm evil. But if you go to the proper definition, it is. Now, Siobhan, what do you think is evil?
Well, Master Eric, I think evil is something that, breaks the laws, the spiritual laws, or even some physical laws, laws that we have for men, I believe is anything that breaks those laws is something that is considered not good, evil.
Well, I want to correct you. Not man. Humans.
Human laws, right, okay.
Because we have females too.
Right.
And we don't want to lose them.
Right.
So we want everybody to be encompassed. I'm not trying to put you down or anything, but it's for human, right?
Yeah.
Now, when we look at everything and we start looking, you have good, you have evil. And they always say good conquers evil.
Right.
But the problem is today, how much evil's walking around? See, this is what we have to look at. Now, normally people class evil as like in the horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do 3 times a week, taking out demons or doing an exorcism. And that's all they class as evil, right? But that's not true. We have to look at what is good, what is bad, evil. The next thing, there is no in-between, people. There is no in-between. Every act defines itself into one of the 2 categories, good or evil, or what they call bad. Now, when we go over this tonight, after we are done with the program, I would like for you to take a couple minutes and do an inner reflection of yourself. And it's never too late to try to catch yourself, change, and try not to do these things, because all you're doing is building karma, or what they say, good deeds, bad deeds.
Right.
And you're just making yourself heavier, heavier, heavier. And then, when we do depart from this world, we have to answer to it. Well, you know, the Akashic records, or what they call the life chart of a human, is already going to be there.
Right.
By the time they even reach that final destination to get judged. So here we go. Now, I want to look at, yes, you have possessions. You have demonic beings. You have people who, when they die, their soul doesn't leave. After 5 years of being earthbound, their energy turns negative.
Right.
Okay? It's not their fault. That's just the way the rotation works within the universe. Now, we have those. We have Obia. We have black magic.
Right.
We have all these different types, which would be classed, in some people's eyes, as evil.
Right.
Why? Because it falls under the category, what it says here: causing harm, tending to injure,
Right.
right? Immorality. So this is what we're looking at. But what about our everyday life? What about our everyday life? And two of the main ones I want to go to tonight: lying. Now, what do people get? What is the benefit of lying to someone? Can you answer me that?
Well, the benefit is to hide the truth. I mean, sometimes the truth, they don't want the other person to know, like, the truth. So they tend to hinder it for some particular reason.
So, if you're doing something and you have to hide it, it was wrong.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So now, what have you done to actually have to hide it? Now, some people, they say, but I only told a little white lie. And I've said this in other programs.
Right.
But is there a difference between the color of a lie?
No, it's still a lie.
Correct.
Right.
So lying to someone, that could be classed as evil.
Don't matter what type of lie.
Because you're misleading.
Right.
You're misdirecting what the conversation is.
Right.
See, that is a deliberate act. Now, a lot of times when people lie, could that cause harm?
A lot of times, yes.
Especially when they're caught lying?
Yeah.
Especially if they're having, an affair or whatever. I want you to understand, this classes as evil.
Right.
Okay? Now, some people say I lie to save the person's feelings.
Right.
They don't want the person to be hurt.
But that is still misleading their feelings, though. That is.
But the question is, what if they are caught lying? Isn't it worse to be caught lying
Yeah.
than to just tell the truth at the beginning?
Yeah, it makes the whole situation worse.
Right. So what they're doing, they're compounding. They're compounding the issue, the event, the situation. Now, some people lie so much, Siobhan, They even forgot what they lied about.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yes. Right, that's true. Next time, turn on your mic. Okay? But the individual was saying, about the same thing about what we was talking about.
Yeah.
You need to just say the truth, no matter what. It may hurt the individual at the beginning, people, but at least they know it was the truth.
Yeah.
But if you allow it to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, out of control, oh, you bet your bottom dollar it's going to be like you hit a tsunami
But that is every
when they find
instance.
out what the truth was.
Yeah.
Okay? So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but lying people is evil. No matter how you try to color it, it is not right. So let's go to the next one. And this one happens all over the world every day, every minute of the day.
All right.
Gossip. Is gossip classed as evil, which is bad? We already determined in the last couple programs that it is a sin
Right.
to actually gossip. So now, if it's a sin, isn't it evil?
Yeah.
Correct. So let's look at it. She say, he say, what they say happen.
Yeah.
Now they never saw it.
No.
They never heard it with their own two ears,
Right.
but they're repeating it. Now, what if it was a false narrative? Now, this is spreading all over, right? And you know how it is here in Trinidad and Tobago. It's like fire.
Yeah.
You're putting fuel on fire. That phone line is burning up all over,
Right.
right? Now, everyone that engages in that conversation or relays that conversation without authentication and validation, you're sinning. It's evil.
Wow.
I want people to understand that. There is no constructive or any productivity when people actually gossip. So, people, if you are doing this and you've engaged in this, try to stop it. It needs to stop, people. If you hear a conversation and say, hey, do you know what he did? Do you know what he did to his wife? Stop it.
One time. Yeah.
Because you don't know whether it's true
Or not.
or not.
Yeah.
What if somebody just started a rumor, gossip,
Wow.
to get at somebody and it wasn't true?
But that happens, Master. That is that
Happens every day.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, unless you see it with your own two eyes, or you hear it with your own ears, not from someone else, even then, you address it to the person you saw doing it.
Right.
You don't go spreading it all over Trinidad and Tobago, all over the world. It's a sin. I want people to understand how serious this is. And every time you sin and it's classed as evil, we're going to be going over at a few programs from now which hell you go to and the time period for committing these acts. People need to really understand the seriousness of this. So let's move on. Why are people drawn to it? People are drawn to lying and especially gossip. People are drawn to it like flies to a fly trap.
Right.
They call it bacchanal.
In Trinidad, yes.
They love bacchanal. But bacchanal, a lot of times, falls into this category. So when you're participating and you are drawn to this, you are drawn to a negative. So, I hate to do it, but we're going to do it. Politicians.
Right.
Oh, boy, 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 boy. When I listen to them speak, I just shake my head. I just shake my head. And I try not to get into it by listening, but I have to listen. You know why? I want to see how big a ditch they're digging for themselves when it comes to classification of a sin and evil. How many times do you hear them get on TV, get on a stage, and they say, well, they have done this, and they did this, and
Gossip.
they did this.
Gossip,
They
gossip.
never saw it in their life. They are taking what is being said, what's in the news, what's being broadcasted on social media, which a lot of times you can't believe that either.
Nope.
Okay? So, what I'm trying to say, why are you saying false, what they call false evidence? You're saying something you don't even know that's true.
Right.
But the reason you do it, you want to make the other person look bad.
Right.
Doesn't that fall under this definition?
Yeah, definitely.
So why did they do it?
And it's also misleading.
And
So
it's
in
for
all
their
ways.
own personal gain.
Right.
Now we got a double whammy. Okay? So if you're a politician and you're driving on your way home, I'm not here to bash all politicians because all politicians do not do it. But the ones that are doing it, you better understand that we've been doing programs like this. People's going to be watching you when you go out on stage.
Yeah.
They're going to be watching you when you do a promo on TV or you're doing a town hall. They're going to be watching. Hold on a second. Okay. So, everybody, pull up the message. So, everybody, we want to actually, good evening, Shiv. What if you tell a lie for a good cause? That's a question that just came in. So, please rewrite and put your definition of what's a good cause that made you lie. Please rewrite your question, and I will be glad to answer it. But when you put it vaguely, what if you tell a lie for a good cause? Well, if it's for a good cause, would you have to tell a lie? This is
Yeah.
where I want them to please rewrite it
Yeah.
and send it in. And please monitor this.
Yeah.
Because I want all questions to come in. Okay, as we go along. Now, we're still on politicians. Now, when you're sitting around trying to make decisions, and it could be any government in the world, are you making decisions based on the benefit of the people within your country? Or are you making decisions based on the political agenda? That's evil.
Oh.
That's a sin. Because you're bypassing what the people actually need. and you're making policies and implementing policies, which is actually hurting
Right.
the people within your country. So this is where we start defining. Evil and good is like yin and yang. There's no in between. No in between people. So then we have to look at other things that class as evil. Abuse of funds. Abuse of funds. Now I'm going to hit another touchy subject. Spiritual institutions. Is the funds that they are getting being allocated to help the people within the congregation, and also the structure and the maintenance of the institution, and that no part of that money is to buy you a new car, build a big house, if you're the spiritual leader.
Wow, but that is happening in Trinidad. You see.
It's happening all
Yeah.
over. But what I'm saying, people don't know, and I'm telling you now, that's a sin. That is actually evil. If you're using the money to benefit your own family, that's a sin.
Definitely. Yeah.
So now we have to start looking. And to be honest, every spiritual institution should show every person of the congregation at the end of the year where every penny went that was actually donated to the spiritual
So
institution.
they could know. Yeah.
Correct. They need to know that they're a part of something. They're a part of something big. Helping charity, helping this, helping them. Not pocketing the money. Okay? Now, let's go down to the person. A regular individual. Is it evil to cheat someone?
I would say yes. It is evil to cheat someone because you're actually taken away from that person in a type of way.
Dig a little deeper. Let me see how you want to go with this.
Wow, well, I would think like in cheating is that, you know, if you all doing something like in, let me just say, well, I would draw a reference as in singing, right? Let me just say someone is, both people taking part in a competition or something. And then you are, let me just say a judge in the competition.
Mm-hmm.
But because of your own dislikes and likes, what you did, you created a biased decision, meaning that you hinder this person by actually pointing out things or doing things to bring down that individual comparing to the other judges and so on, right? Or like you hide marks or something like this, right? In that case, let me just say if I am singing with someone else and I do lose in a type of way, he hindered me and held me back from probably attaining something that I supposed to attain. So in that way, I'll view it that he committed a sin.
Which we know happens here all the time.
All the time, yeah.
So what I'm saying, that's a good example. Bribery. Isn't bribes, whether you want to give the bribe or the person wants a bribe, that's evil. That is a sin.
But if you, every person, let me just say you go to the person for something and they ask for that bribe and you give, you also take part in that karma because you actually fuel the act.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, bring that up for me again. See, I want people to understand this gets very, very in-depth and complicated. Now, here's the question. They redid it. What if you had to lie to someone to save them from doing something that may be harmful to them? Let me put it this way. You don't have to lie. It's called reasoning, communicating, talking.
Right.
You don't have to make up things for somebody to stop that may harm them. You just let them know straight up. This is going to harm you. This is not good for you. This is going to hurt you physically, mentally. And also, what people don't understand, when they start doing things that may harm them, you're not just harming yourself. You're harming everybody that loves you around you.
Yeah.
This is a compounded thing. When a person commits suicide, you just didn't hurt yourself, which that's one of the biggest major sins you could ever do. You are hurting your mother, your father,
Yeah.
friends, neighbors, siblings, extended family. Look how many people you've hurt from that one action.
Yeah.
And then, what caused it?
Ah.
So now there could be evil there. What if you told the person, oh, you're not going to kill yourself? Nah, you're nothing. You're never going to be nobody.
And they did it to prove a point.
So what I'm saying, we have to watch the words that we say and the things that we do. Before I proceed on, I want to thank ZMB Communications Limited. They're located in Fred's Plaza, 26 Eastern Main Road in San Juan. And the number is 292-6470 and 392-2986. So, everybody out there, I want you just to think what people do every day. And just because other people do it, and it seems like they're getting by with it, they're prospering with it, the question is, are they? You guys have no idea how karma works, how good deeds and bad deeds work. You have immediate karma, short-term karma, long-term karma, and we have to answer for the actions we've done. You may benefit for a while, but God gives you rope. He's hoping you'll change. But you still do it, he gives you a little slack. Are you going to hang yourself in the actions that you're doing? So let's go a little further. Is hypocrisy, being a hypocrite, evil?
Yeah. Because I will view it as a form of misleading.
It's totally misleading.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of hypocrites.
A lot.
Okay? I want people to understand. You either are or you're not. There is no in between. I don't know why everybody says, well, you know, I can be between this margin of error.
Oh.
There is no margin of error. We should all try to be humble. We should try to be polite, respectful, reach out and help people. We should always try to do this every day. Is judging good or evil?
Well, judging breaks one of the commandments.
So it has to be evil.
It has to be evil.
How many people out there listening right now judges somebody when they see him?
I think every single person in some type of way judged before. Judge someone just, they probably didn't say anything. But from watching someone based on how they look, different things, they did some type of judging in their lifetime. So,
Now, let me give you an example. You're in a church, you're in a temple, you're in a mosque, and you hear this lady say, She wore that last week, boy. Don't she have anything else to wear? God, she must not have anything else to wear. And plus, that purse don't match that outfit. And them shoes that she took off outside, oh God,
Yeah.
way out there. Right? Is that good or evil? It's evil.
It's evil.
You are judging. You don't know the circumstances, why that person had to wear the same outfit. There are people right here in Trinidad and Tobago that don't have the money to have two outfits, but they keep their best outfit to go to church or the temple or the mosque. So why do we judge them? Why do we try to ridicule them? Just because you need to have a new dress, sari, or outfit every night? For who? God don't look at that. You're doing it for other people to look good. Why? You're feeding your ego. Don't look at people and judge them, especially if you do not know the status or the predicament that they're in.
Right.
Okay? You have a question out here?
Volume.
So suppose if somebody and they see somebody and the blood don't take them.
They say the blood will take them.
And no matter what they do, they just don't like them for nothing to do. Like for anything to do, they just don't like them. Like the blood just don't take them.
Okay, good question. So the answer to that is, just because your blood doesn't take them, does that give you the right to treat them any different? That's what you call an opinion. Everybody's opinion in life is going to be different.
Right.
It doesn't mean you still have to say hello. If you're Hindu, you still got to say Sitaram. No matter what you do, if you're Sai Baba, you got to say Sai Ram. See what Walaikum Salam. I want you to understand, everybody, just because your blood doesn't take somebody, that you ill-treat them or disrespect them. That means maybe that person, you shouldn't be around them. But how do you know they're not saying the same thing about you? My guru, when he taught me, he laughed, he would laugh, he would laugh. And he said, you know what the main torture would be for a human? I said, no. What would be a main torture for a human? And he said, if you could hear what everybody was thinking. And you know he's right. You could be talking with an individual, and what they're thinking about you as they're speaking, it may not be good.
Wow.
It might not be good at all. So your thoughts, people, your thoughts are the same as the act itself. So now you catch yourself. You may not say it in the spiritual institution, oh God, he's wearing the same suit this week too. You're not saying it. You're thinking it. Well, it's already documented in your life chart. So when you go up and you're being judged, we have to be careful how we conduct ourselves every day, how we think, how we move. What are your goals per day? Are your goals spiritual plus physical that would benefit you and not cause harm to get? You're not cheating anybody to progress in life. You're working hard. You're achieving. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But any time You have to go out of that bounds to achieve into what you need to get or you want. You are levering yourself to the evil side. So do you think most people even think about this every day?
No. No, no.
If you're going to buy something, and I've talked about it before, and the cashier, everything's busy, 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 and they give you too much change, and you know they gave you too much change, and you don't speak up and say, hey, ma'am or sir, you've gave me too much money. Evil.
Master, you know what some people will say? Some people said in the past, and I have witnessed, they said they probably by mistake robbed someone else, so karma canceling off the deed. I heard that piece of statement.
So what they're doing, one, they're assuming, and they're trying to please and appease their own guilt that they have by saying this could have happened. Well, guess what? It's still evil.
But in psychology, there's called the justification theory, justifying why you did that action because of your conscience.
Hey, you're learning.
You see?
You're learning. Because when we do certain podcasts, and maybe one or two people out of everybody get upset, and they'll write a comment or whatever. In psychology, they also tell you, once you bring up a subject and a person gets irate about it, they're defending themselves.
Right.
That means they're guilty of themselves.
Right.
Right? So we overlook that because nobody's perfect.
Right.
But the thing is, before you mention something, you better have your T's crossed and your I's dotted, or you're going to look like an idiot.
Right.
Right? But the thing is, people, what we're coming out with tonight is that why do we do these things? Why do we do these things? Now, here's another big one. When you're at home, you're in your own privacy.
Right.
Some people like to walk around in their underwear to go get something out of the fridge. Watch TV. They're relaxing. They're being themselves. They may even talk different at home. They may not even be the person you think they are from the way they are outside. But when they go to work, they put a hat on. They have to put the work hat on. They have to be a certain way. They have to act a certain way. Are they being themselves?
No.
Is that wrong?
That is wrong.
If they go out to a social event, they put another hat on.
Yeah.
And now they're talking and blending in, getting into the gossip, the old talk, the bacchanal, just to fit in. Is that wrong?
Yeah. It's wrong because they're not portraying who they really are.
Correct. Now, after a person does this 5 times a day, wearing 5 different hats a day, and you do this for 10 years straight, do they even know who they are now?
No?
Because they've impersonated so many different parts of themselves
Right.
that they've lost who they truly were themselves.
Right.
So this is what we're getting at tonight. How do we change that? Why can't we be proud of being you? Everyone out here listening and viewing tonight, God made you. There's a reason why he made you. You are supposed to, participate in this world to try to make it a better world. Try to be better for other people. Well, how are you going to do that if you're not even being the person that God made you in the first place?
Yeah.
And then when we go up to get judged, I wouldn't be surprised. He may say, okay, which one are you? Because you've impersonated so many different things, so many different, versions of yourself, but he knows the real you. He knows the real you. So people, just be yourself. Be proud who you are. You don't have to impress people. Now, in spirituality, is there a such thing as I?
No, it's we.
I did this. You seen me do this. I can do that. I can do that better than anybody else.
Ego.
It's evil. Why? Ego can destroy you so fast in this life. Now, we got a long one. Hi, Master Eric and Siobhan. Such an enlightening topic. I used to judge people a lot, almost as a reflex thought. So it just came to them. And as it was because of two reasons. As I grew up, I saw the people closest to me judging people by the outfit and their weight, etc. When I would see the people who are the closest to me judging others for things like being overweight, I started judging others that were overweight. I am overweight, and I realized I was judging them for something I didn't like in myself. Since I had that revelation, and I noticed a judgery thought come into my mind, I looked at it gently and wondered, what is this person triggering? And are they triggering an unhealed part in me? Brilliant.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant statement. And yes, do people react and judge, condemn, bash, torment out of jealousy?
Yes.
Do they do this because they're unhappy with their own life
Yeah.
and they don't want other people to enjoy their life? So isn't that evil?
Yeah, that is evil.
Exactly. So how many people out there do you know, everybody, that is doing this? It needs to stop. It needs to stop. But in this statement that they wrote also brings up another good point. Here we go. You ready? You got your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
Okay. They saw the adults above them, whether it was mother, father, aunt, uncle, cousin, whatever, doing this. So as a young individual growing up, you thought it's okay
It's okay, yes.
because your parents are doing it, right? Now, you're going to a spiritual institution and you're hearing them condemn other beliefs, saying they're going to hell, and yada, 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 yada. The thing is, they're judging.
Right.
Who gave them the authority
Authority
to
to
judge?
Yeah.
So they're sinning, they're committing evil acts,
And also they are
and the
guiding-
people
Right.
that is listening to them saying, well, if he's doing it, I can do it.
So then that one person that portraying it in front of all these people also is part and partially responsible for part of what the people is doing.
Correct.
So there's a lot of karmic. Wow.
It is a domino effect.
Yeah.
And when we start looking at what is good, what is bad, what is good, what is evil, same thing. People, So can we really sit down at the end of the day, look at ourselves, what we've done, and say we're a saint? Do we even have the audacity, if we're doing that, to go out and portray that we're a saint? That's where the hypocrisy comes in. See, people, the spiritual world is like a spider web. You think you can fit through a crack and get by. What does a spider web do? A spider web, when a spider or a fly or whatever gets into that web, they try to fit through the crack. But what happens?
They got tangled up.
They're stuck.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be able to get out of it.
No.
The same thing with this. What you sow, thou shalt reap. That's out of the Bible.
Right.
A lot of people say, if you make your bed in it, lie in it. You're going to lay in it. I want you to understand, we make our own lives miserable. We make our own lives totally unbalanced by all these negatives that we are entertaining every day.
Yes.
If we would just mind our own business and try not to mocko everybody out here in the world, and we should mocko ourselves and find out where we are standing every minute of the day. Don't you think this would be a better world?
Definitely.
You know, oh, you have another question? Go ahead.
Well, if somebody bad things that if somebody bad things that people enemies do, let me say sometimes they do it. Sometimes they do the wrong things if for the right reasons.
Okay. I love these tongue twisters. I love the tongue twisters.
The wrong thing.
Wrong thing for the good reason.
Yeah, there's a song with that.
Right. But if there was a song written about it, that means they're making fun of it.
Right.
See, this is what I'm trying to say. There is no such thing. I want you to understand, you're young, okay? You're growing up. The truth, speaking the truth, and being respectful to everyone, regardless of their race, the sex, whatever, the conditions they live, the status that they have, you treat everyone the same.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is, people, where are you? I've been training Siobhan. Siobhan went on TV, told about everything he's doing, what he's given up, and how he's trying to progress in life. Now, me as his teacher, he sees me every day. I can't be one way one minute and one way the next minute. You have to be the same all the time. And if you cannot be yourself, and people around you don't like you for being yourself, that means they don't need to be around you. You should not change for no one in this world. Be proud of who you are as long as you're doing what's right. Do not fall, or if everybody says it's the best thing in the world to jump off that cliff, and you're watching them all follow each other and jump off that cliff, if you're stupid enough to follow them, then follow them. But you need to be who God intended you to be.
Yeah.
And that is a good human being. Someone that is going to uplift, try to help, especially those who are down. Do you know how many people we have here, just in this country, that is way down, even in my books, below poverty level?
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't we out there helping? You know we do,
Yeah.
but we don't go around boasting what we've done. You're not supposed to. That's a sin. Don't you understand that? When you do charity work for praise, for recognition, and that was your drive behind it, that's evil.
Yeah.
I want you to understand.
Because you have an underlying motive.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's for your self-benefit. When you give charity, it's supposed to be selfless. It's supposed to be for them, not for you.
True.
I want everybody to understand. If you know what is right, like today. Oh, let's bring this up. You know, I sometimes I just shake my head. You see me sometimes. I don't get upset. I just shake my head. Even when I get a bad drive.
Yeah.
They want you to cuss. They want you to commit this act.
Yeah.
But when they watch me and I'm just shaking my head. I had one guy one time, he said, "Hey, boss man, what are you shaking your head at? What are you shaking your head at me for?" I said, "You know, I've been trying to figure that out." Because what you do doesn't make sense. You're totally off the charts. What I was going to ask you is, Uncle, are you okay? Are you having a heart attack? Or are you having a psychonesia attack, epileptic? Because the way you're driving, cut people off, there has to be a mental or health issue.
Yeah.
Now, did I cuss? No.
No.
Don't fall into the trap. Right? So, when we look at life and we start doing our day-to-day activity, do you bump in front of somebody at the KFC line? Do you try to rush and get in front of other people? Don't we see this every day? Why? Aren't we supposed to treat others as you would like to be treated yourself?
Yeah.
I said it in layman's terms. I didn't quote directly out of the Bible. But the layman's terms is this. So why do we do it? How many times, and I'll ask you too, how many times you going down the highway and that guy's riding 2 inches off your bumper and he zips around and he just stays right in front of you? So in reality, he gained 1 second for all that wasting gas,
Yeah.
making you upset, and he only gained 1 second. Now, is that logical and smart?
No.
Actually, it makes him look stupid.
Yeah.
But I can't judge. If that's the way he wants to be, let it be. We don't have to do the same thing. People, we can try to put our head in the sand because we think if we don't see people seeing us, nobody's seeing us. But when an ostrich head in the ground, don't you see that big behind?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you see the body? God does. He sees it. Now, if you take or you're failing at your duty as a parent, as a husband, as a wife, and you're going out and let's say they don't have food. They don't have hardly anything to eat, but the person will go out and they drink, they gamble and lose the money.
Right.
Is that good or evil?
That is evil.
Because one, you're failing at your duties. That's one of the biggest sins you could do in life. Number two, your children's hungry.
Yeah.
They're crying because they don't have nothing to eat. People, I want everybody to look at themselves every day. Don't look at others. They need to look at themselves. Look where we or you as individuals could do better. If that thought comes in your mind, which came here in that person's statement,
Yeah.
catch it. Catch it before it manifests into verbal or action. Don't fall into the evil category. Now we have demons. And we have lots of them, you know that.
Ooh, yeah.
Now we got people out there misleading people and say they don't exist. That if you believe, they don't exist. Well, I challenge anybody out there, spiritual leader. You come and tell me that, I'm going to take you out on one of our cleanings that we do. And I'll let you do it since you say they're not there.
Yeah.
And we will film it and let everybody in Trinidad and Tobago see what you do when you're out there and you're trying to do cleaning saying they don't exist.
Yeah, they
but
don't.
you're getting thrown 20 feet against a wall.
Yeah.
I challenge you.
And you cannot see what train you to. Yeah.
See, this is where you're misleading people. You're putting people in dangerous territory. I'm not saying be paranoid, not to be aware. But again, put your money where your mouth is. And I'm going to start doing that from now on.
Yeah.
That way, they're just going to shut up. They're going to hide and fall in the corner. Why? Do not mislead people. Say the truth. It's in every religion. It's in every scriptures. So you're saying that is false. Don't do that. Don't mislead people. Be honest. Be true. Let them know. Yes, if you believe and you pray, it helps tremendously. But it doesn't mean that a bad demon can't still cause you havoc in life. And I hope to God it never does. But again, everyone, I want to thank ZMB Communications Limited. They're located at Fred's Plaza, 26 Eastern Main Road, San Juan. Their numbers are 292-6470 and 392-2986. I want to thank also a part of that group, which is you, 97.5 FM. I want to say thank you for airing this. And everyone, I want to thank you for actually listening tonight. Just look where you are now. What do you think your life chart says when you go up? You can make it better now. You can make a lot less negative being documented.
Yeah.
But next week, everybody, I'm going to have a Pundit G here with me as my guest. And we're going to go over a lot of little issues that need to be talked about of what's being practiced today. Everyone, I want to say thank you for being with us, and God bless you.